Tamurtaye Gauranga Padma Bhrangaya Radha Bhavan Shevine Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Sarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radharas Sudhanadim Gaura Vrajashita Sheshaira Vaishnavaira Vanda Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhum Vande Premabdhim Mridda Vaishnavam Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavtaram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratushe Namo. Sashtang Dandat Pranam to all the exalted Vaishnavas, devotees, servitors tuning in to our Friday evening Sangha, to all our friends, well-wishers of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, Hardik Namaskar and welcome to our Friday evening Sangha. I have our distinguished guests. Let me bring them on. Dandat Pranam and welcome Sripad Arun Krishna Prabhu. You're muted out.
Oh, Dandat Prabhu, happy to be here. Dandat to all.
Hare Krishna. So, we're continuing our reading that we have, and Anilji just joined us.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Anilji, namaste.
You seems like you're outdoors.
I just came here to take some medicine for my daughter, right? So I will be back home, right?
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, Prabhu. No worries. So we're reading from Religion of the Heart by Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj. This is the publication that we're reading from. And we shall continue from where we left off last week. Or week before last, rather. So this is chapter 2, if anyone wants to follow along. Krishna's wonderful associates. And the page number is 79.
What is the chapter name, Prabhuji?
Krishna's wonderful associates. So, we begin. Atulya Madhura Prema Mandita Priya Mandala. In his activities of conjugal love, he is always surrounded by his dear devotees who possess unequaled love for him. The next quality Srila Rupa Goswami explains that belongs exclusively to Krishna and not to any other form of the Lord is Krishna has wonderful associates who are always serving him with love and affection. Atulya Madhura Prema Mandita Priya Mandala. All the Brajavasis and associates of Krishna in Vrindavan Dham give pleasure to Krishna's heart 24 hours a day with their miraculous service, miraculous faith, and miraculous love. Narayana and other incarnations of the Lord do not have this quality. They do not have such an all-attractive character that attracts such spontaneous, loving, devotional affection from their servitors. Five types of relationships. In Vrindavan Dham, Krishna is always served by his devotees with five types of divine relationships: Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakhyaras, Vatsalyaras, and Madhuraras. In Sakhyaras, Krishna's friends always try to give pleasure to his heart, as if they are in an equal position with him. When they eat something and feel it is very good, even if it is half eaten, they give it to Krishna, saying, "Oh Krishna, this apple is very good, taste it. This sandesh is so nice, please try it. This mango is wonderful, take it." Or, "This type of play is very nice, let's play." They play with Krishna and feel Krishna and themselves are equal, only that Krishna is a little more special. In Govardhan Dhara Leela, Krishna lifted Govardhan hill and held it for 7 days. All the cowherd boys, cowherd men, and even the cowherd girls took sticks to help him. They thought Krishna has taken the whole of Govardhan hill in his hand. He has some special power, no doubt, but still we must help him. Hare Krishna, so nice. Hare Bol. Parental service, Vatsalyaras. Everyone has heard how much Krishna's father and mother, Nanda Mahārāj and Yashoda Mai and Rohini, serve him. An example of this intense servitorship is shown in the shlokas of Sri Damodarashtakam. Rudantam muhuranetra yugmam rajantam karamboja yugmena satankanitram muhushvasakam patrirekhanka kantha sthitagraiva damodaram bhaktibaddham. The expression in this shloka is very nice. Mother Yashoda is angry. She is chasing Krishna and wants to capture him and beat him for being naughty. Krishna is running and looking over his shoulder and then can't see anymore because his eyes are full of tears. He is so afraid. Rudantam muhurnetra yugmam rajantam. He is out of breath and so tired. He is suffering so much. Muhushvasa kampa trirekhanka kanta. You won't see these qualities in the pastimes of Narayana Leela. Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is vividly expressed in other shlokas of Sri Damodarashtakam. The last verse is especially nice. Namaste studamne spuraddeepti damne tadiyo darayat vishwasadamne namo radhikaya tadiyai priyaya namo nantalilaya devaya tubhyam. Mother Yashoda wants to bind Krishna with a rope, and effulgence has come from that rope. And the author says, I bow down to that rope. Namaste studamne spuraddeepti damne. Who has Mother Yashoda bound? She has bound the creator of the whole creation with a rope. Mother Yashoda has bound Krishna's belly with a rope. These are the pastimes of Vatsalyaras which take place in Vrindavan Dham between Krishna and his devotees. Madhura Ras, the pastimes of Srimati Radharani. In the last sloka of Damodarashtakam, the author mentions Madhura Ras, the conjugal pastimes of Krishna. He says, Namo Radhikai Tvadiyai Priyai, Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam. I do not want to say anything more. I can only say I bow to Radhika and the Supreme Lord. I can't say anything about your transcendental pastimes which are manifested in this material world with your divine associates. Your pastimes are infinite. There is no end and no beginning to them. Here the author also indicates the glories of Srimati Radharani. I can't say anything more about Radharani's pastimes. They are beginningless and continue 24 hours a day with her Lord Kṛṣṇa, her Pranavallabha, her heart and soul. She is the dearest of the dear. She is the dearest of the dearest and nearest of the nearest. More examples of Madhura Ras. Radharani's service is briefly expressed in the above shloka. Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan has given another very nice shloka. Govinda Vida Mandirashritra Padam Hasta Ratnadivat Tattam Tatta Vidhutatma. Kshiti tale yo darshayan chakrantu. He says if one holds a jewel in his hand, he can show the jewel in various ways by holding it differently. Rupa and Sanatana Goswami have each dealt in various ways with the jewel by the name of Govinda, who is always served by the Supreme Goddess of Fortune. They have both shown that high substance, Govinda, to the world just as a jewel within their palms. This is from Sri Guru and His grace. Only Radharani can do this type of service. Rupa and Sanatana Goswami can also do it, but without Radharani's mercy, no one can do it. No one can give a second example of this type of exclusive service. She is her own example. A small sparkling light of the jeweled pastimes of Radha and Krishna come to this world through Jayadev Goswami, Chandidas, Rupa Goswami, Ramananda Rai, or from various Goswamis. A small amount of sparkling light comes to this world, and through that we can understand very little. We can't conceive of Krishna's pastimes and of Krishna's relations with his devotees that take place in Madhura Ras, in Vrindavan Dham. There are three groups of Brajagopis. One is the adolescent group, another is mature and married, and the third is the paramour group. We cannot conceive of these pastimes from our present position. Jayadev Goswami has written many shlokas about Radharani's pastimes, and they are of the first group, the adolescent group. And it is best not to try and explain them. Loving affection, the law of Vrindavan. Another example of Madhur Ras with the Brajagopis is shown in a verse composed by Prabodhananda Saraswati. In this verse, Krishna says, when Radharani walks in front of me and I feel a little breeze from her cloth, I think Oh, I am so fortunate. Yasya kadapi vasanachala khelanotha dhanyati dhanya pavanena kritarthamani yogindra durgamagatir madhusudanopi tasya namostu vrishabhanu bhavodeshepi. Prabodhananda Saraswati composed this miraculous shloka. The meaning is, I bow to the direction where Radharani lives. Whether it is in the east or the west, I bow to that direction. I do not bow to her lotus feet or her house, only to the direction where her father's house is. Vrishabhanu, this is Vrishabhanu Bhavodeshepi. So, it's his house, his father's house. When Kṛṣṇa feels a little breeze from Radharani's cloth, he feels this way. I just want a pause here, just want to say nothing much, but the level of caution that is being practiced by Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati. Okay. Back to Gurudev. Every day in Vrindavan, Radharani would distribute food to the Brajabalakas by the order of Mother Yashoda. Radharani cooked one item for Kṛṣṇa because Durvasa Muni had very mercifully given her a boon that whoever she cooked for would get a long life. Durvasa Rathani Teho Panachena Vara Amrita Hite Pakatandra Adhika Madhura. This is from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antalila. Mother Yashoda knew this, so every day she requested Jatila and Kutila to send their sister-in-law to make a sabji for Kṛṣṇa. When Radharani would distribute that, a breeze from her cloth would come to Kṛṣṇa and he would feel, oh, I am so fortunate, I am so happy. Kṛṣṇa feels his life is blessed and fulfilled by feeling a little breeze from Radharani's cloth. He thinks this breeze inspires him so much that he wants to feel it again and again. He is fully satisfied by feeling the breeze from Radharani's cloth. Kṛṣṇa gets these feelings from only the breeze of Radharani's cloth. So you can imagine how much Kṛṣṇa must be satisfied by getting her intimate association. This is Madhura Rasa. These are the types of pastimes that take place between Kṛṣṇa and Radharani and her associates in Vrindavan Dham. They take place in Madhura Rasa 24 hours a day in Govardhana, Radha Kunda, Shama Kunda, and Manasa Ganga, the Yamuna, and in her house. They take place everywhere in Vrindavan Dham. Narayana can't taste these pastimes. They won't come to his taste. If they would, he would feel they are bitter. Narayana lives by rules and regulations. He is a law-abiding personality. In Vrindavan Dham, the only law is love and affection for Kṛṣṇa Prem. Jai Om Vishnu Parsila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj ki Jai.
Jai.
So, by what Srila Govinda Mahārāj is explaining to us and rather revealing to us our capacity is meager to be able to fully appreciate that level and intensity of loving exchange. Because there are different capacities. Even in Jiva Tattva there is various gradations. All Jiva are not the same. All Shakti is not the same, of the same caliber, capacity, intensity. All different levels. So by that, only the topmost are surrounding Krishna, and then there are levels. So an ordinary jiva cannot withstand that kind of intensity, and they will not be able to. The energy field is different. it's of a different level. So much variegatedness and so much levels are given, but people still continue to harp on like Jiva Brahmaiv na para. Jiva is Brahma and that's it, na para. But if we have studied even primary level, even in this world, all jivas are not the same. Do vimau purusho loke charaschakshara evacha chara sarvani bhutani kutasthav akshara uchyate. And uttam purushastan paramatma ityudahrata. Yo lokatrayam avishya vibhartyavya ishvara. 3 levels are explained in these 2 verses. Even in Bhagavad Gita, there are 2 kinds of jiva, very clearly explained. People talk about merging and all being one. Do vimau purusho loke, just from the outset, 2 distinct energy levels within Jiva Tattva. Kshara and Akshara. I remember that. We studied.
Yeah.
So the Kshara, they descend out of their constitutional necessity, as Param Guru Mahārāj puts it. Because of the rebellion and because of the separate propensity to enjoy separately, they descend out of that constitutional necessity. But then there are the other level which are kutastho aksharochate. They are situated in their divine energy field. So they descend not by their own constitutional necessity. It is by some necessity of the center to fulfill that they are descending. And yet, they are both, you could say, you can put them in one category as saying jiva, but they are not the same, very clearly. And at no point you will find that they become one. Then it says, Uttam Purushastanna. Uttam Purush still, that Supreme is still distinct. Very distinct. Anna. Anna means distinct. Why would those words be used? Uttam Purushastanna. Paramatma Ityodahata, and he is explained as Paramatma by his that expanded personality, then that is Paramatma feature. And he enters through that expanded personality feature in all three worlds and sustains them. So how is it all becoming one? Here we are talking about the highest, about divine ecstasy, about associates, about the various levels, and here personalities, very erudite personalities, they are stuck with this at this premise that it's all one. It's ludicrous. Anyway, I mean, we are talking about rasa, and I was just bringing about the variegatedness here. Anyway, what were you saying? Yes, sorry about that, Arun Prabhu.
Oh no, Prabhu. You very rightly in the beginning you pointed out how much caution is being displayed by such high personalities in our work. And clearly, not everything is equal. I mean, we can talk about whatever equality X, Y, Z, and wokeism or whatever else. We have to recognize there is gradation and there is qualitative difference. And, yesterday was, yesterday or day before was Holi. And India, it has been so degenerated because the pastimes of Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa and whatever Brajvasis do, we must never imitate them or think ourselves to be in that. I mean, we have to respect Brajvasis for what they are, and the pastimes of Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa cannot be brought down to the material gross plane. That is a high amount of disservice to the own future of the Jivatma, those who indulge in that. And just wanted to remind that to people who are coming from the Indian background, that they may be born in India, but it also carries with that a very high responsibility to understand this.
Absolutely. In fact, anywhere and everywhere where it is where these intimate pastimes or the subject, divine ecstasy is discussed, it must be under proper guidance and never like self-styled indulgence where you can open up, these higher literature and it'll take you in, it'll degrade you rather than lift you up. So the result will be counterproductive. So that's why Gurudev also, he says very clearly that he's not going to discuss that. And it's healthy in this way. We know that we are not, like you said, we are not try to bring our ideal like down to the mental plane. And when the energy field is such, if and when it descends, then it's self-revealing. It's of that nature, and to whatever extent one is able to bear that, because everyone, like I said, is not of the same capacity. And there are various levels, and to aspire or to just start imagining oneself to be some level that one constitutionally is not capable of is foolish. So constitutionally, I mean, even in the most purified condition, You may not be able to get into that kind of energy field, not because you're not pure, not because of any other reason, just constitutionally, it's not possible.
Mhm.
So one has to be real. One has to be real about everything. It's not that if one is further away or not in like this level of circle, the ecstasy would be, one is still going to drown, one is still going to faint, and one is still going to lose their, their personal bearing and be totally swept away by divine ecstasy. But such is the case. So it's good to have in association and to have some guidance, and then this is very healthy to discuss, to be able to read like Gurudev is himself, what he's saying and what he is describing, then we can, in a healthy state, we can take that. And it's the highest fortune to be able to get any little explanation or anyone of that stature of Gurudev giving us some rasa tattva of some sort. That is extremely high, that is ananda. So like that we go on in a happy way, and we just had this wonderful festival, Gaur Purnima. That was so nice. And oh, there you are, Anilji. So like that we can go on. And we have Madhav Prabhu also with us on Facebook. So welcome and Dandot Pranam to you also, Madhav Prabhu. Hari Bol. How is your family, Anilji? Are they okay? You were getting medicine for them?
Yes, sir. Season. They're okay, right?
Okay, good. Well, we are also trying to get medicine for ourselves here.
Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna. This is medicine. This is the real medicine to get back into healthy state. Someone who has never been healthy has no conception of what good health is. And then on the other hand, we keep talking about Madira and intoxication.
Yeah.
Very openly. There is this verse that says, Parivadatu jano yatha tathayam nano mukharo na vayam vicharayama hari rasa madira matadi matta bhuvi vilutham natam nirvishama. So now the intoxication has reached a level where the personalities taking the intoxicants say, forget about the gossip mongers, because the people who gossip, they always go, oh, look at them, here are drunkards, here are some crazy people. It says, Parivadatu jano yatha tathayam, let them talk. Let them. We are going to Hari Rasa Madira, Matadi Matta, and we are going to go crazy. Bhuvi Vilutham, we may roll on the floor. Natam, we may dance. Nirvisama, lose consciousness. So divine ecstasy is explained like that. So he's saying, forget about the persons who are the personalities or the people who doubt or who are spreading rumors about us being drunkards. Forget it. So that level of, now see, this is and we are still talking such high levels of religion. And what is this religiosity where one is being told to be a drunkard? Anilji, what is this? We have come 360 degree. we were, people were like, wait a minute, we were trying to kick away our bad habits and try to be all clean and everything, and have some Brahminical qualities and things of that nature, but look what has happened. Now we are getting drunk. What is this? It has come a whole circle. And I think Nikhil has joined us. Nikhil? Is that Nikhil?
Oh, Dandavad Prabhu.
Dandavad, how are you?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
All right. Good to see you. So, that's the religion of the heart. But then again, Hari Rasa Madira, I mean, to be able to appreciate that Madira, there is no equivalent, or there is no, like, one will have no taste for these dirty intoxicants at all. So what do you say, Arun Prabhu? ये पूरा 360 जो है कैसे, in such a way, how the progression is, rather than being totally linear in some way, it has come a full circle. If we really see, when we talk Ras Tattva, and when Gurudev is telling us about divine ecstasy, this level, then it seems like it has come a full circle. Again, we are talking of Madira, we are talking of intoxicant, we are talking of falling down unconscious, dancing. What is this?
So every progress step, what this is a Kalvan, there's a mathematical term called convolution. And so evolutionary convolution. So it gets mirrored and it's seen in an entirely different dimensional space. It's still similar, but different, very different.
And at every step, it increases exponentially. The ananda, it increases exponentially. So much so that if one is not able to maintain one's consciousness, then obviously, then that is a stage where it is so sweet that one cannot take it anymore, and one passes out. Literally. We talked about Gaur Leela, we talked about, Mahaprabhu's Leela. Factually, that whole movement of Gaur Leela is unbelievably trying to make the sweetest sweeter. By that magnanimity and that intimacy of the expression of divine ecstasy, it is inconceivably trying to make the sweetest, which is Kṛṣṇa Leela, sweeter. We'll try, and we cannot conceive of that. How is that? Sweetest means is there is no question, but then it's still there is movement. Such is the waves in the subtlemost region. So Anilji, what I was saying is that Kṛṣṇa Leela, as it is, we know, is the sweetest. Everything is madhur. And in Gaur Leela, Mahaprabhu's Leela, there is this expression of magnanimity with it. As if the sweetest thing in some insane mission is trying to be made sweeter. It's very it's not very easy to comprehend how this whole thing happens, but it is our fortune that somehow we are connected with it, and in our own way, individual way, we are proceeding. All of us have been listening and chanting together for how many years now? Just on this forum, it has been some time. We have covered a lot, but we have always been together. And of course, one cannot have that kind of association without Guru's grace and sanction. And so we are very fortunate and happy to have that. And then such great personalities as Avadut Mahārāj and others came, and Bhakti Lalita Didi, and Bhakti Lalita, Shri Bhakti Lalita, she's telling us how to extend this. Didn't even know how to do like a live thing. I was like, well, live how? She's like, oh, it's very easy. Here's a phone. Here, click. See? Felt like, oh, we're such fools. But that is how it works. Anyway, I'd like to pause here, if you guys permit, and then let me see if someone is going to help me do Harihara. Give me a second, Prabhu. I'll be right back.
Bhaja Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Bhaja Shri
Kṛṣṇa Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Hariharaya Namah Kṛṣṇaya Yadavaya Namaha
Hariharaya Namah Kṛṣṇa Yadavaya Namaha
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath.
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath.
Ichhai Gosai Kori Charana Vandan.
Echai Gosai Kori Charana Vandana.
Jaha hoite Vignana Shavishta Puran.
Jaha hote Vignana Sabishta Pura.
Ichhai Gosai Jar Mui Taradas.
Echai Gosai Jar Mui Taradas.
Tan Sabara Padarenu Mora Panchagras.
Asabar Padarenu Mora Panchagras.
Tandera Charana Se Bhaktasane Bas.
Andhra Charana Se Bhi Bhakta Sane Bas.
Janame Mora Ei Abhilash.
Janame Mora Ehi Abhilash.
Ichhai Gosai Jabe Braja Koila Bas.
Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koila Bas.
Shri Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash.
Shri Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Korila Prakash.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas.
Hari Naam Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das.
Hari Naam Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das.
Hari Haraya Namah Krishnaya Davaya Namah.
Viharaya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namah.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar.
Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar.
Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Om Vishnupad Vishwavarenya Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Bhagavan Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Vrinda ki Jai.
Jai.
Saraswat Mat Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Seva Vrinda ki Jai.
Jai.
Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai.
Jai.
Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Sapashad Sriman Mahaprabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai.
Jai.
All the assembled devotees on Facebook ki Jai.
Jai.
Madhav Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Shripad Arun Krishna Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Anil ji ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Nikhil ji ki Jai.
Jai.
Our Kirtan party ki Jai.
Jai. Shripad Jairam Prabhu ki Jai, Ava Didi ki Jai, Namanika Didi ki Jai, Nav Prabhu ki Jai.
Nittai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. So